Welcome to another episode of Discover Rhode Island. Today, we'll be featuring places that are uniquely Rhode Island.
That's right, taking you inside and on top of businesses that really help give our great state character.
And we'll learn a lot along the way. For example, did you know that the Big Blue Bug actually has a name?
Do you know how much chocolate frosting Greg's restaurant makes every year?
I'd like to know that.
I'd like to know about the bug.
Well then, we'll both have to stay tuned. Coming up today,
we'll get an inside peek at some great places to eat, snack, or grab a drink at Wrights Dairy Farm, Caserta Pizza, Greg's Restaurants and Taverns, Blount Fine Foods, and Sweeney Chocolates. We'll learn about the history and know-how that goes into the expert service at Durfee Hardware. Plus, we'll find out the full story behind Rhode Island's most popular pest at Big Blue Bug Solutions. Farm Fresh. Two words that have never been more true than when describing Wright's Dairy Farm in North Smithfield. Milk, cakes, and baked goods, always natural, always fresh, and always local.
We're a fifth-generation dairy farm here in northern Rhode Island, and my great-grandfather started milking cows here in the 1900s. My grandfather sold milk directly to customers in the area, home delivery. He was the milkman. My parents soon after opened a store here on the farm, and then the bakery was born soon after that. As our family has grown, so has the business. We're like 4 businesses in one now. We have our farm here that we milk the cows. We have the dairy where we process the milk. And we have our bakery that we make all of our own baked goods here. And then the store. Everything that we produce here on the farm is sold here in our store on the farm. That's what makes us unique, that we're able to produce the milk, process the milk, and sell it all here on the farm.
In addition to churning out wonderful, wholesome products every day, Wrights can also be a fun and educational experience for the entire family.
Everybody loves coming to the farm because they like to see the cows, and then they like to go into the store and then buy the milk that comes from the cows.
Here in Wrights Dairy, we have approximately 120 cows. The barn is cleaned twice a day. The lactating cows are fed a complete diet of corn silage, hay, and grain. We milk our cows twice a day, at 3:30 in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, every day, 7 days a week, holidays, Christmas, every day of the year. In order for a cow to continually produce milk, she has to be bred and have a baby at least once a year to continue to produce milk naturally. When we bring our cows in to be milked here in the milking parlor, the cows will come from the freestall barn in the back. They will come up the alley, come into the milking parlor, and they will be attached to a milking machine. That milking machine will take about approximately 5 to 10 minutes for that cow to give her full amount of milk. And that'll come out to just about 10 gallons per cow per day. As soon as she's done being milked, she will exit the parlor and return back to the freestall barn. When a cow comes in to be milked, she actually has a ID collar, and all that information about her activity, how much milk she has given, is recorded. All our cows have a medical file in our computer, so we can monitor the cow's health very closely and take excellent care of all the girls.
Taking extra care to make sure all of their cows are healthy and happy keeps that milk pumping, which keeps the dairy very busy.
There's a lot of steps involved from getting the milk from the milk tank down in the milking parlor up to our store where we sell it on the retail shelves. It starts by going through a separator, which also clarifies the milk, where we can either pull the cream off of the milk to get skim, 2%, or we can leave the cream on the milk and get whole milk. Then it gets pumped over to our pasteurizer, slightly heated, and goes through our homogenizer. Homogenizing is the process of taking the milk proteins and forcing them together with the fat proteins, so everything is glued together, otherwise you'd have that slick layer of cream on top of the milk. From there, it gets rapidly chilled before being bottled, capped, rinsed off, and then sent down to either our store or we pack orders and have them shipped out across the state. Our milk lasts just as long as any other milk. The difference is that in the grocery store, it might sit on the shelves or in storage for up to a week before it's actually available to customers. Whereas here, we're taking the milk, we're processing it, and we're putting it on the shelves almost the same day.
And having fresh milk right on site benefits Wrights customers in other ways as well.
The bakery was started here at Wrights Dairy Farm based on ingredients. It was a necessity to utilize all the milk and cream that they had coming from their dairy. So they were trying to create products at that time to utilize those ingredients that they had readily available that they were already producing. So we do a lot of custard items. Eclairs are a huge seller. And then we also do a lot of whipped cream pastry. That's our main staple, that we do whipped cream pastry all year long. So the cows give milk every day. We have whipped cream every day. The product line here at Wrights Dairy Farm consists of everything from breakfast items to wedding cakes. So on a given day, we might come in and we start with breakfast items such as muffins and Danish and meltaways and pecan rolls, and then we'll move into pizza, broccoli pies, Italian bread. At the end of production, we would run into cake, where we're producing cake for all the orders that we might have for the next day.
A genuine staple of Rhode Island, Wrights is always growing to serve its customers better in the future, without ever losing sight of their own rich history.
Currently, we're standing in a building that was built last year. It was built as a replica to the barn that was here for 100 years, housing and milking cows. It's something that we can use to expand our business, and we're actually baking in this building, but it was such a staple and a landmark in the community, we felt it was really important to make sure that it replicated what was originally here, so that the experience for the Wrights Dairy Farm customer doesn't really change. We really concentrate on our community and those retail customers that are coming in to visit agriculture that doesn't really exist much anymore in Rhode Island.
I think what keeps the customers coming back here to Wrights Dairy Farm is the experience. They come to experience the farm and where their food comes from.
It's important to us to keep customers coming back to the farm. We want to make sure we offer them a quality product at reasonable prices with friendly service.
Caserta Pizza is a family-oriented pizzeria, old-fashioned and with old-fashioned standards.
Caserta Pizza, located on Federal Hill in Providence, has only one location, but they're known throughout the state, offering traditional Italian pizza made fresh daily, and they've been doing it for over 60 years.
The business started in 1952. It's always been Caserta's, and it comes from a small town in Italy. We took it over in 1981. We have 2 families here now, and we've been running ever since. We run this as a family business, and it's pretty much stayed that way. The recipe is always been the same. It's been handed down from the former owner. He taught me, and I've taught other people, and we don't change anything. I don't change anything, and that's probably why we are so successful, because change is not something that I like.
Caserta certainly makes it easy. A tried and true recipe that customers can always rely on, and a menu that, well, John tells it best.
The menu, simple, stupid. Cheese, pepperoni, mushrooms, olives, anchovies. That's it. We're not into that new style stuff or California pizza. No crazy artichokes and sun-dried tomatoes, none of that. It's traditional Italian pizza, not too thin, not too thick. We only have 2 sizes, small and large, 6-piece, 12-piece. Strictly Italian style, family style pizza. Traditional Italian pizza is something that you do by hand. We do everything here by hand. We come in the morning, the guys make the dough, we cook the sauce, we put everything together. It's a process. Everything takes time here. It's not mass produced. It's every day, all day. They know what they need to get done, and you can't rush it. We also serve our pizza raw. We sell our dough. We sell our sauce, where you can take it home, put it in the oven, and bake it at home. Comes out just as well as it is when you get it here.
There are also a few other menu options, including a popular item with a very memorable name.
A Wimpy Skippy, which is our signature product. It's a spinach pie stuffed with cheese and pepperoni. We have a plain spinach pie. We also have a pig in the blanket, or a pepper pig, which is a pig in the blanket with peppers. Recently, we just started with fresh garden salads. We also have beer and wine and an assortment of sodas.
Caserta Pizza is beloved throughout Rhode Island, embracing an old-fashioned approach to their food, their atmosphere, and to the customers they serve.
I think what makes Caserta different from anyone else is our consistency. We've always been consistent. We always try and do what is best for our customers. We try to make everybody happy. We have seating for over 100. We do a lot of birthday parties. We have a lot of reunions. You can come for the circus, you can come for a hockey game. Also on Federal Hill, we have a problem with parking, but we own our own parking lot, which is free for all our customers. Caserta Pizza is just a nice place to come. It's very comfortable. You enjoy yourself. We don't bother anybody. I tell people, move the chairs and tables. I don't care. I want you to be comfortable.
Here's something you may not have known about the Ocean State.
Did you know Rhode Island has 21 lighthouses, the oldest dating back to 1831, and 13 of them are still active today. Some are home to museums and gift shops, and the Rose Island Lighthouse in Newport even offers a chance for you to stay and become the keeper of the lighthouse, living in authentic early 1900s accommodations. A great night's sleep, as long as you don't mind a nightlight.
Everyone around Rhode Island knows this guy. He's larger than life in more ways than one. Let's find out the story behind the one and only Big Blue Bug.
Back in 1979, we moved to this location on O'Connell Street in Providence, Rhode Island. When we moved here, we purposely moved to a location that was right on the freeway, and we planned on putting up a billboard. And then I realized that a billboard is just so common up and down the interstate that just to have catchy slogans, it wouldn't be that unique. So then I thought, what about doing a replica of a bug? That says it all about our business. We chose the termite. The Big Blue Bug is actually a termite, a swarming termite, because back then, that was the most infamous insect that most homeowners knew about. The bug took 1 year to be built. It's 58 feet long, 4,000 pounds. It's steel girders wrapped with fiberglass, and it's 928 times the actual size of a termite.
Building the Big Blue Bug was quite an undertaking, but did you know it wasn't always blue?
Once we decided we wanted to do a replica of an insect, I wanted to do one that was a perfect replica. So the advertiser looked under the microscope, and when he looked under the microscope, he saw that even though it's black to the naked eye, it actually had a purple tint in it. So he designed it, he built it, and it was purple. However, 3 months on the roof, in the sunlight, the ultraviolet light faded the purple and it became blue. We had it painted purple again. 3 months later, it faded to blue. So I said, you know, it must be meant to be. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have the alliteration, Big Blue Bug. And the bug actually has a name. The name is Nibbles Woodaway, and we call him Nibbles for short. Once it was installed, the Rhode Islanders loved it from the start, and we have now started to decorate it with various costumes. A favorite is when we decorate it for Christmas, and then it becomes Rudolph the Red-Nosed Termite.
Nibbles has become a Rhode Island icon, known nationally and internationally, depicted in hotel lobbies, airports, comics, cartoons, movies, and more. And while he proudly represents his state, his first priority is to represent the great services of the company he stands over.
Big Blue Bug Solutions is a general pest control company that services your home or business. We also have a wildlife division that covers bats, squirrels, skunks, and other nuisance wildlife. And we also have a very effective mosquito and tick program so that families can really relax and enjoy their backyard for the spring and summer. And I'm very proud of our technicians and all our staff. I feel they're the best trained, best technicians, best customer service reps in the business. As a matter of fact, one of our service technicians just had a tattoo of the Big Blue Bug put on his left forearm. I asked him, why'd you do that? He says, I love this company. And I gotta tell you, it really, really made me happy.
Greg's Restaurant and Taverns, they're a Rhode Island tradition. We are here to serve people because we love what we do. We have an eclectic menu, and there's something on this menu for everyone.
We use quality products, we serve them in a clean, comfortable atmosphere, and we price them to provide value for our guests.
Hoping to grab a drink and a nap while watching the game? Need to plan a business lunch? Or maybe you're just looking for a family destination to fill up on dinner and dessert? Then look no further than the widely popular Greg's Restaurants and Taverns.
Greg started as a deli and dessert concept back in the late 60s and kind of evolved from there. And in 1972, my predecessor took it over. I came on board in 1982, and we had an agreement that we would grow the company together, which we did, and then when he was ready to retire, he would sell it to us.
We have 4 locations, one in Warwick, one in East Providence, one in Providence, and one in North Kingstown.
There's a lot of similarities from location to location, but we have close ties with the communities we serve, so each store is taken on its own personality. One of the things that makes them similar is that we have a commissary in Pentucket, where we do all of our baking, pies and cakes, obviously. We do our soups, sauces, salad dressings, all come from one location, delivered on a daily basis, and that gives us a lot of consistency from location to location. We make over 70 tons of chocolate frosting every year. We make over 6,000 gallons of chicken noodle soup every year as well.
How about the pickles? How many pickles do we
serve?
serve?
We don't charge for them, so I don't even want to know how many we give away.
I think people love Greg's because they know when they walk through the door that they're going to be treated so kindly and nicely, and we appreciate them. We wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, and I think we have somewhere for everybody, every demographic. We have our taverns, which are a totally different atmosphere, same quality food and that sort of thing, but totally different atmosphere that some people are more comfortable in. And then we have dining rooms that if you have little kids, you can feel good. If you're elderly, you can feel good. We pretty much are set up to accommodate anybody that walks in our doors.
Our menu is very eclectic. We have something for everyone. We have lots of family favorites, comfort food, anything from stainless meatloaf to deli sandwiches to beautiful salads, soups, and of course we have the best desserts.
Our desserts are something that differentiate us from our competition. Every family gathering, party, celebration, I think that most people will see a Greg's dessert there, and we take a lot of pride in that. We won't compromise on the ingredients that go into them. Even though costs have gone crazy over the last few years, we just flat out won't compromise. And we serve portions like you'd probably cut for yourself at home. So you don't go away hungry, and a lot of times there's dessert left over to take home.
Speaking of taking it home, you don't have to dine in at Greg's to enjoy a great meal, thanks to their full takeout counters.
They're available in every one of our locations. We dedicate a lot of square footage to our takeout shops, which are there for not only our desserts, but our full menu items. But they're on display there. You come in and pick out your favorite. I'm sure you'll find something you'll like.
Our restaurants may look a little different, but they're really not. They all do the same thing. They serve the community, and that's what we do best.
Yeah, we've received national recognition for our involvement with the communities that we serve. Our staff is proud of that, we're proud of that, but more important, it's something we do that a typical franchise or chain isn't set up to do to the level that we do it. When a guest leaves, we hope, number one, that they're satisfied, but we hope that they felt that the experience was something that compels them to come back. They felt welcome, they felt they were treated properly.
And we also feel that they got a great value, and we hope that they stop by our takeout and take a big piece of chocolate cake home.
Here's another fun fact about Rhode Island. The Fox Point Hurricane Barrier was built in the 1960s to help protect the downtown area from damaging floods, much like the devastation of the Great New England Hurricane of 1938. This 3,000-foot barrier is comprised of river gates, dikes, canal gates, a pumping station, and most notably, 3 large movable gates that help control the water flow. It has protected the city through several severe storms and even helps maintain the proper water level so we can all enjoy the Providence water fire.
Blount Fine Foods is a manufacturer and marketer of gourmet soups, premium sides, and meals that we sell around the country. We are the largest fresh soup company in the United States.
Blount's is a nationally recognized name and has been a local favorite for many years. A true Rhode Island original, built on hard work and passion, and born in the waters of Narragansett Bay.
Blount Fine Foods started as an oyster company in the 1800s, harvesting oysters and sending them to Providence and to New York City. After decades, these oysters were not as plentiful, so we helped pioneer clams, both the harvesting of and the marketing of clams. And of course, once you have clams, it makes sense to get into clam chowder, which got us into broccoli cheddar. Next thing you know, we're making beef chili. We've really had a really nice progression of products, but each one is just one step away from the other to get us to where we are today. In 2011, we actually discontinued our seafood processing line in order to focus on prepared foods and meet the demand of the delis at the grocery store as well as the booming casual dining segment. Our product line is made up of refrigerated and frozen soups for grocery store chains as well as national retailers and restaurant chains. So this comes in food service bags, it comes in refrigerated cups, lots of different ways to get a premium restaurant quality soup to the customer. Blount Fine Foods has hundreds of recipes for soups and sides. Some of them are old traditional favorites that we've had for decades, like our chowder recipes. Others are brand new ideas, like an Asian noodle soup. A lot of people like things like Portuguese kale, broccoli cheddar. And now that we have sides and meals, we're very popular in macaroni and cheese and having fun with macaroni and cheese, like a bacon mac and cheese or buffalo mac and cheese. We also make soups under several different names. So we make custom recipes for grocery stores that they sell under their own name. Same thing with restaurants. We also license the Panera Bread and Legal Seafood names. And in that, we take their recipes that they sell in their restaurants and we produce those products to be sold in grocery stores and club stores nationwide. And last but not least, we have the Blount brand, which has been very popular in restaurants around America for decades, and it's continuing to be launched in retailers across the United States. We are also the largest manufacturer of lobster bisque and the largest manufacturer of fresh chowder here in New England. So while we're still core to our roots of clam chowder, we're providing fresh soups for the rest of the country in the formulas that they want.
Staying core to their roots does not only apply to Blount's recipes, but to serving those foods directly to their customers close to home.
We are a national company with all this production space, but we are very proud of our retail locations that offer and showcase our products and traditional foods right here in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts.
Blount's delicious specialties can be found during the summer at their seasonal clam shacks in Warren and at Crescent Park in Riverside, or year-round at their Blount Market in Warren and their market and indoor clam shack in Fall River.
Our customers love us because of our traditional recipes. They can count on our consistency. They're loyal to the brand because we have new and exciting things that can come into either our market or into the clam shack and find new menu items, new soups. But I think people are most committed to the brand primarily because of our people. They like and know the people who work here, and there's a pride in the local community about what Blount does and makes.
Sweeney Chocolates is a fourth-generation confectioner. We carry gourmet chocolates, novelties, hard candy, fudge, corporate gifts, baskets, and anything you can imagine.
If you've got a sweet tooth, we've got just the place for you. Welcome to Sweeney Chocolates, where everything you see is made right on site and has been for generations.
My grandfather, who was a school teacher, started making candy in his basement during World War II to supplement his income. He learned the trade from his father. He opened the Garden City store in 1955, and we've been making candy ever since. Years ago, confections were more sugar-based, mints, jellies, peanut butter, less chocolate. Now we carry a full line of chocolate, encompasses about 75% of our business, and we have a full line of chocolates, truffles, and even sugar-free chocolate.
I started working here when I was 11 years old. I worked here part-time through high school and college, and I started full-time in 1989. In the peak of the season, prior to Christmas, we are putting out about 300 pounds of product a day, and everything that we make is made right here in our Wakefield location. We actually still have the box of recipes that my grandfather used 60 years ago. We've tweaked things a little bit over the years, but it's pretty much the same. We use sugar, fresh cream, fresh butter, corn syrup, and of course chocolate. Making chocolates is as much science as art. Everything has to be tempered just right. Ingredients are weighed up, cooked, poured out onto cooling tables. When they're ready to go, they're cut into smaller pieces, and then they're placed on a conveyor belt and covered in chocolate. In this kitchen, we make caramel, fudge, butter crunch, all the creams, all the nut clusters, all the turtles. We make hard candy, chewy pieces, mints. All the molded items are made here. Peanut brittle, coconut is very popular. Sea salt is very popular.
We now carry a full line of 72% cocoa chocolates, a higher content chocolate, a little healthier. We make fruit and nut barks with that. We also do a lot of corporate gifts, a lot of molded items for businesses. They can have their logos in chocolate. Our chocolates are available in our Wakefield store, in our Garden City store, online at sweeneychocolates.com, and a few wholesale customers.
Sweeney's produces enough sweets, candies, and chocolates to make Willy Wonka jealous. And we hope their chocolate factory will always call Rhode Island home.
Sweeney's Chocolates is unique to Rhode Island because we've been here for 60 years and we've been successful for 60 years.
I think we're different from other companies in that we use very good quality ingredients. We buy from local vendors. We have a consistent product and people come back year after year.
You see a lot of traditions where certain people have to give their children the same chocolate bunny that they had when they were a kid. They have to have certain things in their stockings. Some people are in once a week and some people are in once a year.
What I like best about making candy is we make a product that makes people happy, and that's a good thing.
From tools and building supplies to paint, plumbing, and patio furniture, Durfee Hardware on Rolfe Street in Cranston gives its patrons the unique experience of shopping in a true hardware store.
My grandfather and grandmother started the business in 1930. My grandfather had a great love of woodworking and carpentry. In fact, he built a house with his brothers a couple blocks from here in Eden Park and traveled to Maine to remodel a house. Went to the hardware store to get the supplies, decided he wanted to be in the hardware business, and came back to Rhode Island and purchased the land that we're on today on Rolfe Street.
At Durfee Hardware, customers can enjoy browsing without getting lost, ignored, or enduring the long walk from the parking lot.
I think that Durfee's is a little different than a lot of stores that people maybe go to. This place is what you think of as a hardware store. When you come in, it smells like a hardware store. It feels like a hardware store. You walk on the oak floors and they creak. You look up at the tin ceilings that we have. And the lighting that we have now that you see is hanging lamps, because back in 1930, that's what we had, was old schoolhouse lamps here. So it's very much a feeling of walking into a real hardware store, not like some of the places you might walk in today. Sure, we have computer systems and we have point of sale system, and it helps us with the inventory, but you still have the personal touch of the family keeping an eye on the store to make sure you get both the efficiency of the new way of doing things, but also the feel of how things were done in the 30s.
And despite their small town feel, Durfee's inventory is anything but.
So the common misconception for most first-time customers is that how actually large our store is. All customers seem to be amazed once they get inside the store. We have 8,000 square feet of selling space.
We started with a small store and grew a second floor, a warehouse in the back, so we've got quite a large building at this point.
We sell lawn and garden items, we sell paint, we sell hardware, we sell some specialty tools that we get from importers.
We do windows and screens, we cut keys, we do a lot of services.
Pricing is competitive because we are a cooperative through True Value. Through our buying direct through manufacturing, we're able to lower our costs.
Yeah, it's been said in the neighborhood, if Durfee's doesn't have it, you don't need it.
Durfee's charm and reliability is something you only find with a family-owned business.
There are quite a few benefits of dealing with a small business.
We are a part of the community. Not only do we have generations who've worked here, we have generations of customers.
We sponsor Little League, CLCF, which is a big thing for youth in Cranston. We sponsor a lot of different things for the community, and the money stays here in the community when people are spending their money.
And Durfee Hardware goes the extra mile for their loyal customers time and time again.
When we had the big snowstorm last year, Ryan searched the country and found some roof rakes in Chicago and hired a trucking company to truck those roof rakes here to Cranston from Chicago. And we were the only store in the state that had roof rakes at that time.
With authenticity of a real hardware store, the guarantee of a caring, experienced staff, and personalized touch from a family-owned business, contractors, weekend warriors, and homeowners alike will look forward to a trip to Durfee Hardware.
We've been here for 86 years, and we've seen 86 years worth of problems. We understand that sometimes it can be intimidating to come into a hardware store, and we're more than happy to assist you in any way that we can.
Today we learned a lot about some uniquely Rhode Island companies.
And we learned a lot about Rhode Island itself. Great spots, great people, and fantastic businesses that help to shape the Ocean State.
You know what's funny?
What?
All the people look like bugs from up here.
And the bugs look like airplanes. Join us next time on Discover Rhode Island.
Today we learned a lot about some uniquely Rhode Island companies.
We did?
I guess so.
All right.
That's what it said.
Light.
I would rate the Fagan door installers as outstanding. In courtesy, professionalism, price was within our budget, and the quality was amazing.
When they came in to install it, it was perfect, and the beauty has just enhanced our home. We're very, very happy.